Hello and welcome to the TCF Morning Show. It is Friday, June 11th, and this morning I am joined by Boomy at Boomy TCF. I am Zach Lilia at Z Lilia TCF. The main page is at typical_Chicago. This morning we'll be talking about the Chicago Cubs, who are tied for first place with the Brewers going into a big series with the St. Louis Cardinals this weekend. The White Sox, who are playing as we speak while we record this, are 4 games ahead of the Cleveland Indians for first place. So they're looking good, really playing well. But we'll get more into that. We'll get into the Andy Dalton, Justin Fields kind of QB competition that's kind of going on right now. Some good news for Justin Fields out of camp from his wide receivers. We'll get into the Aaron Rodgers not being at mandatory minicamp. You hate to see that. The 12-team playoff, college football 12-team playoff will be talked about at a meeting in Chicago. So we're going to kind of get into that. That meeting is next week. And then we'll go into the NBA and NHL playoffs. Then we'll end the show like we always do with Boomys Wacky Web Story. If you want to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, type in Typical Chicago Fans. You will find us on there. Go over to the YouTube page. Subscribe to the YouTube page, Typical Chicago Fans. All of our morning shows, podcasts, interviews, food reviews. We're about to go on a little trip here to Denver. So we'll be having some more food reviews, rest stop reviews.
Tons of food reviews. Tons.
We are very excited about that. Subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts. And if you get your podcast from anywhere else, just type in Typical Chicago Fans. You will find us on there. Shout out to 26shirts.com. Chicago. Use the promo code Typical Chicago Fans at checkout for 15% off of your purchase. Again, that is Typical Chicago Fans at checkout for 15% off of your purchase at 26shirts.com. Chicago. Also, shout out to Connect Roasters, Morale Store for the Morale Blend. So, Morale Supply Store. Shout out to Dom. Shout out to Ian Happ. I got my Morale Blend right here. There's something in that blend. We know that.
Zach, is that good coffee? I haven't come over
very
to try
good. Very, very good coffee. And like you said, it sparked something in the Chicago Cubs.
Oh, yeah.
So, like I said, there's something in the blend. Morale Coffee, Morale Blend. Shout out to Connect Roasters, Morale Supply Co., Ian Happ, Dom. Got the shirt right here. Love it, love it, love it. Also, something cool they do is the home run bucks. If you're in the subscription, if you get one or however many coffees you want a month of the beans, which I get. I get the, I don't remember what I get, but you also get $5 to the Connect Roaster store every time Ian Happ hits a home run. So I got $5 on Wednesday for Wednesday. He hit a home run Wednesday. Was it Wednesday or was it Tuesday?
I'm in summer break mode. I don't know what day of the week it is. I think it was Tuesday.
That's a good segue here. Boomy, how's summer break going for you?
Man, I'm wonderful. I've lifted weights every day this week. I helped a friend move some stuff. I played 3 rounds of golf. I've played 4 softball games. Life's great, man. I can't complain at all. So, just kind of plugging away each day, trying to find stuff to do around the house and, not rearrange, I shouldn't say that, but kind of cleaned up the content cave, working on some projects here and there. I bought a new mower, so got a 0 turn on the way, hopefully today, maybe next week. I don't know. Shout out Schmidt's small engine repair in Troy Grove. But, man, things are great. I can't complain. How are you, buddy?
Good. As you can see, we got a new mixer in the house. We haven't had one for a while, so we got the microphone set up. It sounds a lot better. I've been listening back to a few of the podcasts we've been doing, and it doesn't sound the best through this, so I apologize for that. But we're back with the microphone. Yes, and we're gonna have some trips coming up here, some TCF trips. So we'll need the mixer for that. Be doing podcasts on the road. But let's get right into the topics here. Subjects? Does that work?
Topic, subject, same thing, right?
There we go. Cubs 35-27, tied for first place with the Brewers today because they beat the Pirates. They were a half game up. Cubs did not play on Thursday, but they played today against the St. Louis Cardinals. They have a 3-game series at Wrigley Field. The first time Wrigley is at 100% capacity since, would it be 2019?
Yeah, it would have been 2019, man. It would have been the playoff
That's crazy.
series against the Marlins, wasn't it? Or no, was
Yeah,
that 2 years?
it's
No, boy, that would have been 2000 because 2020 was Marlins that they got eliminated, so it would have been the September of 2019.
and it's gonna be like an opening day all over again at
Oh,
Wrigley Field, and it's a big series. They lead the Cardinals by 3 games, so if they can win the series here, they can really take over first place, at least away from the Cardinals. We'll see how the Brewers do. They play the Pirates this weekend, so that's not the best.
no.
Brewers playing very well as of late, unfortunately. But I think this Cubs offense, with his bullpen, and hopefully the starting pitching can hold on here at the end after the All-Star break. Because let's just go into the big thing that I've been very annoyed about for the last few days. You're looking for a starting pitcher, another
Yeah.
starting pitcher. Well, then what was I want to know what the point of trading you Darvish was. What was the point? Like,
Dude,
we
we're going to
got
just keep
some
beating our heads over the
talent
same
that they
topic.
got talent, some young talent that's not going to be there for a while, and we don't have a pitcher that we need and a backup catcher that we could use right now.
No, we've been talking about this since the trade happened in, what was that, November, December, whatever it was. But, like, the fact is, I don't trust right now the Cubs organization with the front office to go out and get a pitcher. I think I still, until, completely convinced otherwise, I still think the Cubs are going to be sellers at the deadline, unfortunately, and they're going to piss a lot of people off. We talked about this on the podcast, episode 101. If you haven't listened to it, go do it. But I just am not convinced that this front office and this ownership believes that this team is good enough. And that sucks because this team is good enough. And they've shown you with the offense. I mean, Christ almighty, they're in first place. They've had their ups and downs, but they were also kind of dealt a crappy hand with what the ownership and what the front office did. And despite that, they're still in first place. So, I really hope I'm wrong. I really do. But if you go out and you pick up, and I know, our guy Dom talks about go get Max Scherzer. Yes, absolutely. That would be on everybody's wish list, right? Even if it's not a guy of that caliber, but if you go in and get a guy that, can give you good outings every fifth day and give you a chance to win the game, you're in a great spot. But if you sell at the deadline, you might as well just wrap up and start planning for 2024. Unfortunately, it sucks, but they've overperformed, and I think that's got some people in the front office and the ownership a little bit on their heels, and that's good. Put them in a spot where you have to make a decision. Pull a trigger. You want to trade Chris Bryant? You want to trade Javi Baez? Do it and see how the fans react.
I really hope that does not happen.
You and me both, man.
They got the when is the trade deadline? You have any idea? In July, right?
That's a good question. It's usually towards the end of July.
Let's hope that the Cubs can get past that point without having a big problem. As in, if they're selling, that really sucks. That really does, absolutely. Because you're in a season where they could win the division.
Yeah, 100%. It's wide open. But I got a question for you, man. After the Cubs dropped the first 2 in San Diego at the beginning of this week, what were your true expectations of how the last 2 were going to go? Right? It was 2. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was. Was it a 4-game series?
No, it was a 3-game series.
So they lost the first and then won the last 2?
Yep.
Okay, so they dropped the first. I was very worried with the pitching matchups and obviously Yu Darvish on Wednesday that the Cubs were going to get swept after that first one. Was I bad for thinking that? Was I the only one?
You get a little worried after a game like that, but it's one of those things. Well, Wednesday, I did not. I thought Yu Darvish, he pitched very well, 2 earned runs. You love to see Yu Darvish pitch. He's an amazing pitcher. Would be awesome with the Chicago Cubs. But Jake Arrieta gets that one.
His walk-up song was Rizzo's song to show a little respect.
Yeah, that was awesome because he said because he said that Rizzo always had his back through all the good times and bad times in Chicago. But that was one of those weird games too. Remember we signed Yu Darvish. People wanted to get Jake Arrieta. Ended up being a very good signing in Yu Darvish, and now we have Jake Arrieta and we don't have Yu Darvish.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean. The Cubs lose the first game 9-4, and after that, I mean, I thought, man, this isn't going to go well. They come out Tuesday and put up 7 and hold them to 1. But I want to say, I'm looking it up now. That pitching matchup was not a great one, if I remember correctly. And obviously, on the road in San Diego, they didn't have a great weekend in San Francisco, but they come out, they put up 7 runs, and then obviously finish it off on Wednesday against Yu Darvish. I thought that was a great way to.
I think the Cubs have proven themselves over the last few weeks, beating some very good teams. That they are contenders. They are contenders right now, and I just hope that the front office realizes that and doesn't ruin it.
Zach, I just realized why I thought that on Tuesdays because Zach Davies was starting.
That's true, but he's been pitching pretty decent as of late.
He's keeping it together.
Yeah, that's the problem with this rotation. It's going to be a lot of just trying to keep it together, get to the bullpen. This bullpen. Unbelievable right now. Good. Amazing. For years, the Cubs have been looking for a bullpen, and now we got one.
Yeah, seriously. Where was this bullpen in 2017, 18, 19, last year? Like, where was this?
Like I said, big 3-game series against the St. Louis Cardinals. Division rivals. You want to always beat the St. Louis Cardinals. Like I said, big 3-game series. Awesome to see the fans back, 100% capacity. Wrigley Field is going to be so loud, so amazing. It's going to be so fun to just watch on TV. We're going to be in Wrigleyville most likely on Sunday night, Sunday afternoon. We may not be at the game itself, but we're going to be at Wrigleyville at the bars, just kind of hanging out, just soaking in the atmosphere. It's awesome. Awesome time.
And you got Kyle Hendricks on the mound today at 1:20 on a Friday. What more could you want, people?
That's beautiful. Yeah, 1:20 on a Friday at Wrigley Field. That's just with the full 100% capacity. That's just we're back.
Hey Zach, have you seen the obvious shirts? Our guy Tyler Keller, who always listens to the podcast and interacts.
Oh yeah, I saw that. A Friday at 1:20.
Friday 1:20 p.m. That's a great shirt.
Love it. Well, let's move on to the White Sox, who are currently up 4-2 in the bottom of the 8th. Well, maybe we'll give you an update on how that game finishes. But the White Sox sitting pretty in first place right now, 4 games over the Cleveland Indians. I'm not gonna say you never say never, but like this division, not the best right now. But the White Sox are also playing very well right now. I mean, this offense without maybe 2 of their best hitters are
still did you see they lost amazing. Madrigal?
Yeah, the White Sox are having some bad luck right now.
Yeah, 60-day DL on him. That's
what the heck?
Seriously,
it feels like they just keep it moving, though. They just keep it moving. They keep the offense productive. The pitching, I mean, they may have one of the best rotations in baseball right now. And Lance Lynn, he's like 2nd or 3rd in ERA.
Yeah, dude, he's 1st in ERA right now.
That's
in
crazy.
The American League.
That's crazy.
And like a guy
that starting rotation is that starting rotation with a guy like Lance Lynn doing that.
Yes, I mean, and you picked up Lance Lynn thinking like, he's going to be a great, 3rd, 4th, at worst 5th starter, and now he's leading the American League in ERA. And he looks like he's kind of caught that flame again. You know what I mean? Like he had a strikeout the other day, and I think I saw this on TikTok, which is hilarious. But like Lance Lynn, this old burly, big thrower, gets a strikeout, turns fist pumps, and like they're having fun, and like he's pitching well, and he's feeding off of the energy that he's getting from Yermin Mercedes and Tim Anderson and all these guys. Like he's kind of feeding off that, and we've talked at length, and I don't think we need to bring it up again. Some of the stuff that Tony La Russa has kind of shoved his head. He just kind of sounds like an idiot most of the time, but they're winning despite all of the nonsense going around in that. And to be honest, like that stuff's going to follow when you have a team that's good and a team that has an old manager. Like that's just going to happen, and they're still winning. You said it earlier, they're kind of you don't want to say it too early, but they're kind of taking care of business in this division, and there's probably not. I just don't think that there's anybody in the division good enough to catch them, despite all the injuries. And like I said earlier, losing Madrigal is big. He's played well, but man, they just got so much going for them right now, and they are fun to watch. I hate as a Cubs fan to admit it, but damn, the Sox are fun to watch.
Yeah, they are very fun to watch, and they'll be fun to watch the rest of the season. Chicago Bears, Andy Dalton, Justin Fields. There's kind of a QB competition going on right now at the mini camps. Justin Fields signs a 4-year, it's like $18 million guaranteed. He gets like $11 million signing bonus. But there's been a lot of good news coming out about Justin Fields. Darnell Mooney, the wide receiver for the Bears, said he's been throwing a beautiful ball. And says even he was smiling mid-route because the ball was placed so perfectly. You love to hear that. I know it's just little stuff like that, but for me, you just love to hear good stuff going on about your quarterback. So it just, for me, love it. It just give me all that Justin Fields content.
Yep.
I need it all.
You got something to be happy about, man.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's fun to.
I'm not going to poo-poo on your parade. I got a couple things I could say right now, but you know what? It's been, you have been through the ringer. Even in the time before we've been doing this podcast, like you've seen enough with the Bears. The fact that you have, and I think Matt said it well, like a glimmer of hope for the future is something fun, and enjoy the hell out of it, man.
Yeah, I'm excited just for the next few months of even before the season starts, just hearing stuff going on. You've seen the way he's interacted with his teammates and stuff, so you love to see it. Andy Dalton, he may start week 1 or so, you never know, but it's Justin Fields' team, and I'm excited to see what he can do.
And I know you'll like this, Zach. I saw a TikTok, again, second TikTok reference. But he was talking about his college center at Ohio State, who was drafted by my Packers. And so one of the, I don't know if it was the QB coach or one of the coaches around was asking, they said like, oh, who's your center in college? And he said, oh, this guy's name, whatever. And he said, but he got drafted by the wrong team. And the coach says, who's that? And he says, oh, the Packers. So he's already got that in his blood.
He understands. He understands. Yeah. I love that. Like you said, I think that's, love Mitch Trubisky. He was a good guy.
You're not one of those guys that's gonna like wish ill will on Mitch.
No, I hope he's awesome in Buffalo. And I think most Bears fans are. I mean, I
think so too.
It wasn't his fault that he was placed in that position. I think he needs a little more time to build his stuff, and I think that maybe he can figure that out. But his personality, it was very mellow. And I think that Justin Fields, it seems like you've seen some of the videos from him getting his team pumped up in college, all that, even just the way he kind of talked in that interview. I think that's what a quarterback's attitude needs to be. And we've never had a quarterback that's had an attitude like that. Even with Jay Cutler, it was like his was just like the fuck you attitude. Like he was just kind of like whatever. I think that he is going to get his teammates into it. He's going to get everyone excited, the fans excited. I'm just excited to have a quarterback that's got a little just a little fight in him. You know what I mean? I like when Mitch Trubisky would get knocked down, I'm looking for him to get mad or something, and he would just go straight to the sideline. Yeah. I want to see a little fire. I don't know the last time a Bears quarterback had that.
I have a question. I've been meaning to ask you this for a while. I need to ask Matt this as well. The TikTok dances that Justin Fields does, are those kind of candy ass?
Whatever. Who cares?
I was just curious. I've been meaning to ask this for a while.
No, they're fun.
Okay, that's what I would do them. You what?
Yeah, I would do them if I could.
All right. That's all I wanted to know.
But yeah, I'm excited. I'm so excited for the Justin Fields era. It's awesome. It's gonna be
You
awesome.
should be. No, you should be. The kid's a good quarterback, man. If they can coach him up right and they can put the right scheme in for him, he's gonna be good. Like he's a winner.
Yeah, and I'm just excited. Very excited. But something else I'm excited about. Aaron Rodgers does not show up to mandatory minicamp and is officially a holdout. I think you kind of saw this coming,
Yep.
but I don't know how this is gonna repair itself, honestly. But I mean, I'm not even coming to this as a Bears fan. I'm coming to the point where I just don't see what's going to change here in the next few months. That I think he is who he is, and he's going to be a very stubborn man. And I think that he is not going to let this go.
And I agree with you, but I don't think he's stubborn enough to hold out once the regular season gets here.
That's when you'll see, though. You know what I mean? If
that's
going to be that holdout, I mean, you're screwed.
Oh, and Zach, and I've said this from day one. Brian Gutekunst, or whatever his name is an idiot. Like, he didn't take care of Aaron Rodgers. And I think I've said this till I was blue in the face. Like, it's all about the lines of communication. If he'd have let Aaron Rodgers know that he was drafting a quarterback, and Aaron Rodgers came out and said, like, I didn't have a problem, with the pick. It's just the way that, and he said the front office, but he means Brian Gutekunst, whatever. I think that's how his name's pronounced. I don't like the guy. I don't care to pronounce it right. I don't care. I don't like it. But, like, there's a line of communication that is not existent between him and Aaron Rodgers. And the fact of the matter is when you have a guy who is a first ballot Hall of Famer and you don't take those steps to take care of him or even keep him in the loop, you're kind of an idiot and you're kind of an asshole. So, like, I get where Aaron's coming from. I think he's too competitive in the sense that, like, I'll say this now, you can clip this up, put it on record. I don't think he'll hold out once the regular season comes here because right now it's a game of chicken and it's going to be whoever breaks first. I just think Aaron's too competitive and he doesn't want I don't think he'll sit out once it comes to regular season. I really hope I'm not wrong on this one, but we'll see.
I'm not writing this down to clip this up, and not at all would I do that.
Not at all. Hey, but I did hear from all the Packers reporters that Jordan Love has been having a very, very good minicamp. So
yeah, he's not Aaron Rodgers. So whatever you want to think, stop it.
No, it's ridiculous. And
we'll have to see how this goes. But for right now, it does not look good for the Packers and Aaron Rodgers. This was news that kind of came out on Thursday, that there is a 12-team playoff in the college football playoff being talked about, and it's going to be talked about in Chicago next week at the meeting. Boomy, how awesome would this be?
Dude,
but
I absolutely love this.
Why you think that they're going straight from 4 to 12?
So that part does confuse me just a little bit.
That's a big leap.
Yeah, because I thought they would kind of dip their toes in the water with 6. And then I thought at best we were going to see 8. I thought that's all we would ever see. And I get 8, 12, man, that's a huge jump. And I think it's because, and I could be wrong about this, there may be a sense of like a loss of, I'm trying to think of the best way to say this, a loss of earnings from limited people in the stands for COVID. You have a more chance of smaller schools. Like even the chairman of the MAC came out and made a statement. So like even if you think about that, like the NIU team that went undefeated and went to the Orange Bowl. If you think about the Western Michigan team, I think in 2013 or 14 that went undefeated and went on to a major bowl. Like that's big money for those conferences in that school. So maybe there was pressure from the smaller, non-top 5 conferences. Like, hey, if you're going to expand it, like you've got to include us. Like we got killed last year on ticket attendance. Think about us in this. So that might have something to do with it. I may be completely, tinfoil on my head thinking about this, but I love 12, man. I absolutely love it.
I think it's also just trying to cut out having to go from 4 to 8 to 12. It's like if we're just going to go to 12, just go to 12.
Yeah, absolutely. And
I think that's pretty much just going to be the cutoff, and then you don't have to worry about it again.
Because I think the absolute biggest you can go to is 16, and I think that's dangerous because if
Yeah,
you look
I
at
think if they get to 12, that's going to be it. There can't be any more discussions about it. That's enough room for like a Cinderella and stuff
sure,
like that. So I
right.
think if they can get the 12 team playoff, that'd be awesome.
I agree, and like I stated earlier, like you get those schools, if Troy has a good year, or if Arkansas Little Rock has an incredible year where they go undefeated, you probably would have seen a team like Coastal Carolina or BYU or a team like that get a chance. And everybody says like, oh, it kind of diminishes the regular season, but like, how many dumb regular season games do you see where it's like Missouri versus some 1AA school that doesn't make a difference? Like let's weed those games out because you're just doing those to get people in the stands to sell concessions so you can beat a team 65-0. Like let's make every game a little bit more important, maybe cut out some of the fat, and then you move on. And I'm a big fan of that. And I think I saw it was someone, maybe it was Mincy or Brandon Walker on Barstool, like no one cares about like the non-competitive bowl games. But if there's a chance that like the winner of the Gator Bowl goes on to play in the next round,
It'll help out everything.
Absolutely. So you're not only helping those teams get in, but you're bringing in a ton of money from viewership, and you have all those ESPN contracts. Like, I think it's great. I absolutely love it. Make it happen, NCAA.
I love it. I love it. I love it. That they should have you at the meeting and just say what you just said.
The meeting's in Chicago. I can be there in an hour and 45 minutes, guys. Give me a call.
That'd be hilarious. Boomy showing up.
I'll be there in a baseball jersey and a backwards hat then too. So don't expect
the college football playoff meeting in some college football jersey and a backwards hat.
Hey, speaking of that, Zach, I got to give a quick plug. Shout out to the NIU Alumni Association. I just ordered 2 game-used NIU Huskies, red and a white jersey. So I've got those coming to add into the cable. Make sure I throw those up when I get those. But I just bought those today. So
I love it. But let's move on to the NBA playoffs. Tonight we had the Bucks beating the Nets. So it's maybe going to make it a series here. You love to see at least not be go down 3-0. You wouldn't have liked to see that. And then we got the Clippers Jazz at the end of the first. Right now it's 30-29 Jazz. So hopefully the Clippers can make that a series too. I want good series. Other than the Suns, I want the Suns to win.
Yeah. Yeah, and I thought I saw this coming, and I should have bet it. I was kind of an idiot. I didn't. But like Milwaukee, this was do or die. You go down 3-0, and we've talked about this in years past. You go down 3-0, it's over. But the fact that Brooklyn only scored 83 points in that game after as hot as they've been, I mean, like Milwaukee, obviously they win the game, but like he only scored 86 points, and like it's not 1987 anymore. Like teams score in the hundreds, so. I still think Brooklyn's, going to get past the Bucks. I think you're going to see the Bucks head coach out after that. But you nailed it, man. Absolutely. Give me good series. Give me competitive games. I love it. The Suns are just absolutely – I mean, they won by 25 in Game 2 when everybody thought that Denver was going to come get them. On the day that Jokic gets named MVP, it's just – it's unfair right now. The Suns are so good, and I hope I don't have to clip this later and say how big of an idiot I look like, but damn, the Suns and the Nets look like they're on a collision course.
Yeah, I think that's what it's going to be. I think it's going to be the Suns, Nets, and I really hope the Suns win.
Yeah, I would love to see that. That's a good point. And in the East, we got another good series. We got Atlanta and Philly, and they're tied at 1. So, just give us every series should go at minimum of 6 games.
Did you see the score of the Nets Bucks game tonight? My goodness.
Yeah, 86-83. What is it, 1987? Come on.
With 2 teams that should be able to score a lot of points.
At that score, I expected Bill Laimbeer to come jogging off the end of the bench at the end of that. What are we doing here? Thank God I didn't play the over.
And then, Boomy, you got some NHL playoff updates for us?
I do. Obviously, the Islanders pick up a huge huge one last night. If anyone's been following that,
That was awesome.
That was so cool, man. And I think this goes back to like our Chicago Blackhawks days. Like, I hate the Bruins. I love the city of Boston. I hate anything Boston sports related. So the Islanders getting past the Bruins was nice, 6-2, a huge one. As we're recording, the Vegas Golden Knights are up at the end of 2 periods, 4-3. They win. They close that series out. And then, we move on from there. And I truly want to say that I need to watch more hockey. I definitely do. But the NBA has kind of consumed my television time. And the Cubs being better than I thought has kind of consumed that. But also a team we've talked about a lot, the Tampa Bay Lightning finish off their series with Carolina 4-1. That series is over. And then our good friends to the north, we have the Montreal Canadiens coming out of the Canadian division. They beat the Winnipeg Jets, sweep them. I'll be completely honest. I don't know what the next round matchups are because my phone doesn't show what we're going to see. But there's still a lot of good hockey teams left. I've watched some hockey this year, but not as much as Matty Pucks. But I'm going to tell you right.
I'm officially in on the New York Islanders. Frankie Borelli, his dad, Stu Feiner.
I'm a Golden Knights guy.
I don't care. That was so fun to watch, and the passion they have, I'm all in.
Oh, it is absolutely electrifying.
It's electric. I mean, Frankie is insane in a good way. In a very good way. With
Boston fans like that, I absolutely love
the pure joy, and that's what you love to see. Is just like a genuine sports fan. Like he would be doing that if the camera wasn't there. That's what you don't see that a lot anymore. So I am a New York Islanders fan.
And I think like this is cool. Like either way, we're going to see a fairly small market. I mean, and like the New York Islanders, yes, but like they're not the New York you think of. I believe it's Long Island. It's a little bit different crowd. But like you have Tampa Bay, you have Vegas, Montreal. I mean, you're not talking like teams from LA, Houston, Chicago. Like as much as I would love to see the Blackhawks in it, hockey's one of those sports where like you're going to see one of those second tier markets really get some shine. I mean, shit. Nashville has a very good hockey team, and as much as we hate them, like it's kind of cool in the way I look at it to see the way that those second tier markets really shine in hockey. I mean, and that's just my dumb brain, but it's going to be a fun. The finish to the season. I love where it's going, but I'm a Golden Knights guy, man. I hope my Golden Knights get your Islanders in the Stanley Cup Finals.
There we go. We both have a team now.
There we go.
Boomy, do you have a wacky web story for us to end the show?
I sure do, Zach. And, I don't. Have you ever, Zach, you've ridden a bike, correctly?
Yes.
All right. Have you ever done it naked?
I don't think so.
All right. I was just checking because if you have, I have a perfect event for you. In Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Oh, my God.
People in Philadelphia, they go apparently on naked bike rides. There's an annual Philly Naked Bike Ride. It is an event this year that will be held on August 28th. Will require masks for some reason, but other than masks, you don't need anything to wear. So if you have plans to travel to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on August 29th or 28th, I'm sorry, I may suggest avoiding that area, maybe delay your trip a week. But the city lifted a lot of its COVID rules, but are saying that as of now, we're still a couple months away. You still got to wear masks. People apparently just strip off their clothes and ride their bikes. And that just reminds me, I hate the city of Philadelphia. I hate every single Philadelphia sports fan on the planet, despite other than my Uncle Troy and his family. But other than that, Philadelphia, come on.
I like Rome.
Yeah. But like, it's August 28th. Why are we riding bikes naked? It's 105 degrees.
That should never happen. Oh, my gosh.
What are we doing, Philadelphia? Get it together.
Please. Boomy, anything else? Good to be back on the morning show. We got another podcast coming out probably Sunday morning or afternoon, so be on the lookout for that. We may be having a special guest, hopefully. But other
Absolutely.
than that, Boomy, nice to be back.
Oh, always great to be back. Make sure you follow all the socials that Zach lists because we're going to Wrigleyville. We may go to the Cubs game. We may just hang out in Wrigleyville. I don't know, on Sunday for the Cubs Cardinals game. So we'll be posting some content from there. It's as simple as a click of a like on Facebook or,
We'll keep you
Instagram, Twitter.
entertained.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got a few trips coming up here in the next few months or so. So we'll be your entertainment. We'll have some fun.
Absolutely. And if you have any places between LaSalle, Peru, Illinois, and Denver, Colorado that we have to stop at, make sure you DM typical_Chicago. You let us know where we have to stop. We'll get a review in for you.
Yes, that is a guarantee. I love that, Boomy.
Without a doubt.
You want to follow Boomy at Boomy TCF. I'm Zach Lilia at Z Lilia TCF. The main page at typical_Chicago. Facebook, Instagram. Just type in typical Chicago fans. You will find us on there. Go over to YouTube. Type in typical Chicago fans. Subscribe to the YouTube page. Morning shows, podcasts, interviews, food reviews. We'll have updates and stuff on there. Also throughout our trips and maybe our trip to Wrigleyville on Sunday. Also, wherever you get your podcast from, type in typical Chicago fans. You will find us on there. Apple, please subscribe, rate, and review. 26shirts.com is Chicago. Type in the promo code typical Chicago fans. And at checkout, you will get 15% off of your purchase. Again, that is typical Chicago fans at checkout for 15% off of your purchase at 26shirts.com Chicago. Anything else, Boomy?
Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Get out and do something fun.
It's going to be hot, but let's have some fun this weekend.
Stay hydrated.
Yes. This has been the TCF Morning Show, Friday, June 11th. We love you all.
Peace.